The eternal recurrence to the source. For 37 years, the corridors had been her silent confidants, echoing the quiet cycles of her passage. Soledad Márquez, a presence woven from diligence and faded denim, moved through the hallowed mathematics building at Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico. Her mop, slick with soapy water, painted ephemeral glyphs across marble floors, temporary patterns mirroring the eternal truths sought within these walls. Vaulted ceilings held the whispers of academia like prayers to unseen gods of logic. While she remained in the space between equations, the pause where understanding might dawn. The professors, titans wrestling with infinity, rarely saw her, a small brown-skinned woman whose hands bore the stigmata of bleach and brooms. Yet, she knew the rhythm of their existence. The cartography of their habits, forgotten coffee cups, pre-dawn vigils, the phantom limbs of equations left unerased, like fragments of a dream seeking completion. Tonight, a deeper hush had fallen. The stillness pregnant with potential. The air itself seemed thick with anticipation. As if the very numbers, the ancient forms, were holding their breath before revealing themselves anew. Under the amber glow of dimmed hallway sconces, casting long, skeletal shadows, Soledad navigated her cleaning cart. Its squeak, a familiar metallic sigh, was her only companion in the echoing solitude. A constant note in the symphony of her recurring days. The cart, battered and resilient, felt less like a tool and more like an exoskeleton, scarred, essential, held together, like her, by determination and necessity. At 63, the years had gently coaxed her spine towards the earth. A slow, inevitable return to the source from which all things rise and fall. Reaching room 237. She paused. A sliver of fluorescent light bled onto the polished floor from beneath the door. Left carelessly ajar, a subtle break in the established pattern. Hola. Her voice, soft as dust motes dancing in the light, barely disturbed the silence. No reply. Balancing a spray bottle, she nudged the door open with her hip. The classroom exhaled emptiness. Yet ghosts of recent presence lingered, residual warmth from a ceramic mug, papers scattered like fallen leaves. And the blackboard, a universe of chalk dust nebulae. Symbols swirling in a silent, frenetic dance, hinting at underlying order. As she began her ritual, gathering the day's detritus, a glint of white caught her eye. Half hidden beneath a crumpled theorem lay a single piece of chalk. Not the utilitarian, dusty sticks the university provided, but something finer, something resonant, bending slowly, her knees registering their familiar protest. She retrieved it. It felt cool and dense in her palm. A sliver of captured moonlight imbued with a strange potential. Pure, immaculate white. Almost pulsing with a soft luminescence. Along its side, delicate golden characters proclaimed its lineage, Hagoromo Fulltouch. A name whispered in reverent tones. A key reputed to unlock the flow of mathematics, transforming calculation into poetry. Perhaps by awakening something dormant within the user. She was about to consign it to the lost and found. Another misplaced fragment. When her ancient flip phone vibrated. Marisol. Mama. Her daughter's voice. Frayed thin. He won't stop crying. Lucia quit. I need that. Teresa's daughter. Soledad's fingers fumbled through her pockets, seeking the lost scrap of paper. Nothing. Un momento, mi hija, she murmured, her gaze drawn inexorably to the blackboard. The chalk heavy with promise in her hand. The vast, dark canvas loomed. Partially erased. A space awaiting inscription. Awaiting the return of clarity. "Tell me the number again," she said, stepping towards it, guided by an impulse older than thought. As Marisol recited the digits, Soledad lifted the Hagoromo chalk. It met the slate not with a scratch, but with a whisper. A sigh of recognition. It glided, frictionless, leaving pristine white numerals that seemed to borrow light. Glowing against the profound black, 8-4 2-1. "Gracias, Mama. Te quiero." The line clicked dead. But Soledad stared at the number. The sequence pulsed, resonating with something deep within her. A pattern half remembered. Not from this life, perhaps, but from the soul's own memory of order. Echoed in the rhythm of her breath. The beat of her heart. The cycle of the sequence itself returning inevitably to one. Compelled now. She wrote 3. And then. The chalk became a conduit. Her hand. Merely a vessel for an ancient current. 3 10 5 16 8 4 2 1. It wasn't invention. It felt like remembrance. Like uncovering pathways that had always existed. Waiting to be traced again. She added another starting point. 6 3 10 5 16 8 4 2 1. Another iteration of the eternal return. Then, 7 22 11 34 17 52 26 13 40 20 10 5 16 8 4 2 1. Each number flowed into the next through a simple, elegant rule: if even, divide by 2. If odd, multiply by 3 and add 1. A rule that felt less like a human construct and more like a fundamental law whispered from the very structure of reality. A law she was now recalling. No matter the starting point. The sequence spiraled inwards. A relentless, beautiful journey back to the origin. Back to Uno. A warmth bloomed in her chest, spreading like dawn, dissolving the aches and worries. These were not just numbers. They were ideas. Pure forms dancing in trails of light. Patterns she suddenly recognized. Time ceased its linear march, becoming cyclical. Infinite. The weight of rent. Marisol's struggles. The fear of obsolescence, all faded. Subsumed by the profound harmony unfolding before her. A harmony echoing from a source beyond time. She worked in a fugue state. The blackboard blossoming. Sequences intertwined. Revealing proofs of breathtaking clarity. From the depths of her awareness. Fragments surfaced, overheard whispers about the Collatz Conjecture. An unsolved mystery. A pattern resisting completion. But now, guided by this inner light, the path became clear. It was not about forcing a solution, but about remembering the inherent unity. Siempre regresa a uno, she whispered. The Spanish words tasting like rediscovered truth. Always returning home. To the source. She didn't register the first rays of dawn. The gathering students. The whispers turning to gasps. Only Dr. Elena Vasquez's sharp intake of breath broke the spell. Soledad turned. Blinking. Returning from a place far away. To find the crowd. The impossible tapestry on the board. Señora Márquez? Dr. Vasquez approached. Voice hushed. Did you? Soledad looked back. The blackboard pulsed with complex theorems branching from simple truths. A vast tree rooted in the singular digit 1. At the bottom, circled twice, the Collatz Conjecture is true for all positive integers. Yo, she began, aware again of the chalk dust, the throbbing joints, the chasm between her life and this luminous proof. LGIs. It helped me remember the way. Dr. Vasquez, eyes wide, scanned the equations. This feels like rediscovery. The elegance. It's as if the solution was always there, waiting. A skeptical young professor pushed forward. Impossible. She must have copied it. Soledad simply held out the Hagoromo nub. Los números, she said. Her voice calm, grounded. They speak a language older than words. Perhaps one needs silence. Like the silence I have known for 37 years. To hear it. To remember it. The aftermath was chaos. Then verification. Then wonder. News crews arrived. Academics debated the proof's startling originality. Its intuitive leaps that felt both radical and inevitable. They found her approach wove together disparate fields. Guided by an inner logic that defied convention but held an irrefutable truth. She hadn't just solved a problem. She had tapped into a deeper understanding. When asked how, Soledad would smile gently. The patterns are always here, she'd say, gesturing to the air, the light, the silent stones, in everything, waiting to be recognized, like remembering a forgotten song. Honorary doctorates, stipends, offers arrived. Marisol's life found stability. Soledad's hands softened. But the cycle held. Each evening, as silence reclaimed the building, she returned with her cart. Some paths always lead back to the beginning. In room 237, she would clean the boards, restoring the potent emptiness. Sometimes, opening her box of gifted Hagoromo chalk, she would stand before the blank slate. And in the hallowed quiet, she would let the remembered forms dance again, tracing pathways through infinity. Each elegant spiral a testament to the eternal recurrence. The inescapable, beautiful journey home. Back to the source. Back to one. The small bronze plaque outside room 237 read, Soledad Márquez. She remembered the patterns in the dust of infinite stars. And the legend grew. La mujer de los números. They said she conversed with the soul of mathematics. That difficult problems left overnight might find resolution by dawn. Written in strokes that glowed with remembered light. And professors, advising young minds, would share her wisdom. A blend of humility and cosmic truth, no matter how complex the journey. They'd say, nodding towards the quiet room, the true path is a return. Listen closely. Remember, you will always come home to one.